Welcome to this demonstration of fine-grained authorization applied to SAP systems, a joint Axiomatics and Pathlock integration. In this demonstration, we will show how we can easily implement export control, controlled unclassified information, and GDPR policies in a few simple steps. At the core of Axiomatics' solution lies the authorization engine. That authorization engine can be integrated with the homegrown applications or off-the-shelf applications, APIs, and data sources. We're proud to say that we are adding support for SAP systems. If you have data within your SAP environment, that data can also be controlled using an Axiomatics authorization policy. This is possible through the Axiomatics and Pathlock partnership. The new integration that Axiomatics and Pathlock have put together offers a scalable approach to centralizing access control policies for all of your applications, including SAP. Some of the key features of the integration are the ability to apply fine-grained access control on your data. You can use any number of parameters and attributes, such as a user's role or group, or even relationship information. Everything is policy and attribute-based. We use Alpha as the policy language. You can easily reuse your policies across your policy decision points, and you can easily audit your policies for peace of mind. Third, this is compliance-driven and risk-aware. Not only can you use risk as one of the many attributes you can use in policies, and that risk score can come from risk engines such as CrowdStrike, it is easier to prove compliance to legislation and other compliance frameworks. With regards to SAP, the integration provides both record-level access control as well as data masking and redaction on individual fields of records. The architecture for the integration follows NIST ABAC 800-162, the golden standard for attribute-based access control. A user on the left is trying to get access to a financial transaction stored in SAP. The browser or the application sends the request to the backend. Before the request hits SAP, though, this is where Pathlock, acting as a policy enforcement point, sits in the flow, intercepts the request, and sends an authorization request to Axiomatics. Axiomatics is configured with both its policy administration point, which maintains the policies, and policy information points that let you consume any number of attribute sources such as Azure, Entra, CrowdStrike, any other database or REST endpoints. Eventually, a decision is produced and returned back to Pathlock, and Pathlock enforces the decision before sending the original request to the backend. The demo use cases we will see are controlled unclassified information. Depending on the citizenship of the user, data categorization and grouping, we will grant or deny access to documents and data. The second use case will touch on GDPR, the privacy legislation from the European Union. We will control access to data based on the parameters involved in GDPR. And lastly, we will look at an ITAR example where we will control access to sensitive data, and access will be allowed or denied based on user's location and citizenship. Let's dive right into the first demo, controlled and classified information. Let's first have a look at the policy in the Axiomatics Services Manager. On the left, we have a policy package that contains 4 different policies. The policy highlighted masks UI data focuses on controlled and classified information. On the right-hand side, we can observe that the policy has 2 parts, one for sensitive data and one for non-sensitive data. The policy about sensitive data grants access to US persons only, whereas the policy about non-sensitive data focuses on any kind of user. Anyone can access the information. Both policies are combined together into a single policy. Let's switch over to the SAP system and have a look at a material. We are acting as Einstein, a user from Germany, therefore not a US citizen. Notice that some data is masked because they are not a US citizen. Let's switch to a US citizen, Tesla, and open the same list of materials. Notice that the data is now visible because the person is a US person. Let's dive into the second demo, GDPR policies. Let's open up the GDPR policy. In this case, the policy is very simple. We only allow access based on the country. If we open the policy, we can see the details of the condition that allow Germany, Italy, and Austria. Let's switch to SAP and look at financial data. We're going to open a business partner and go to the Payment Transactions tab. And we can see that because Einstein is in Germany, he can see the bank account number, but he cannot see the bank account number for other countries. Let's dive into the third demo, ITAR legislation. We are now back in the Services Manager. The third policy highlighted in blue is the ITAR policy. Inside the policy, all we do is check that the resource material ITAR COC is equal to the user COC. It's a direct relationship. Let's switch to SAP and have a look at what Tesla can view. We'll open a material based in the United States, and we will be able to see that Tesla can open the record. Tesla can look at basic data, for instance. Now, we can try to open a material based in Germany, and we will see that now Tesla's access is denied. We can see that in the bottom left status bar where we see that Pathlock blocks access to the data. How about Einstein? Let's switch the view and do the exact same test with Einstein. Can Einstein open data based in Germany? Yes, he can. Great. That's because he's in the right country. But can he open data based in the United States? Let's try. And again, look in the bottom left corner and we will see Pathlock kick in and say that access is denied simply because the country is not the right one. This is a very simple implementation of fine-grained authorization in SAP. Thank you for listening. For more information, please go to axiomatics.com.